what we've got here is some slave sync boards, all connected up on our G45s on a daisy chain. Now all these units are actually powered from the master sync board, which is on here, which is connected to a Raspberry Pi 4. There's actually two headers on here, one which is for a Raspberry Pi 4, which is plugged in on this one here, and the other one for an NVIDIA Jetson, as we've got on this example here on that back connector. And here's our L515 Realsense camera. So what I'm going to do is just going to get the Realsense camera going and log into the Raspberry Pi so we can run some little scripts. So we'll just get this going. I turn that on at the camera. There it is. Now I'm using WinSCP and I'm going to log in to Cocom Pi is his host name. Username is Pi lowercase, password is Cocom. I'll just log into that. There it is, and there's the little scripts on there. So I'm just going to run a putty session over here, and I'm going to go Cocom like that to log in, and then we'll just do an ls. Yep, it's really this machine. So I'm going to go Python 3 Pi GPIO, and I'm going to go step. So what this will do is sort of run them in a sequence. So I'll run this and we're going to look over here. So if we watch this, I'll just run this now. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all in a little sequence. And then if we run that again and back up and look at the lights on the end of these boards, we'll see that they actually run in a sequence as well. Here we go. There's number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. There it is. Okay, so you can actually see there's a little LED just here that tells you when the unit is active, which means it stops the actual Realsense from going. Now we'll do another little test. So these units here, you can plug them in live, doesn't matter. So that's the power switch. Tells you you've actually got power to the board. Actually, let me just put it in that one. Whoops. Like so. And I've set this to unit number 1 on the dip switch. So 1 is set on. There's also a number 1 over here. So you can set as many of these boards to the same number as you want, depending on how many cameras you want going at the same time. And what I'm actually going to show you here, I'm going to lean this on the top here, I'm going to actually see it in action. So I'm just going to leave that there for a second. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. I'll do that. Now, quite important, you've got to remember to do this. You need to go into controls. Let me just find where it is. Where is it? Where is it? I think it was actually here. So what I'm actually looking for is the external sync, which I can't find. Where is it? So actually, just turn it off for a second. Controls. This very important little checkbox, intercam sync mode. We need to click that. So what that means now is the L515 will actually work with the external sync. So I'm going to turn that on, and you can see the frame rate is going up and it's working quite nicely. And we're connected to board number 1. So this is a second board number 1 I've got here. So if I now run that Python step, see the light come on and the frame stop. You see it stop for a second? We'll run that just again so you can quickly see that. So when this light comes on, the frames will stop. So I'll just show you that again. So see, it stops. There we go. And it goes again. So when the light is on, the camera is not active, no longer sending anything. Now we'll do another little test which just shows timing. So there's another script we've got in here called 160 milliseconds. And what it does is it actually sends it active for 160 milliseconds. So if we come over here, it'll be quite quick, the LEDs on here, but we'll see on the oscilloscope 160 milliseconds. There we are. So if we have a look at here, it's a 100 millisecond time base. So if we look at this first signal here, so that's 100 milliseconds, and then an extra 20, 20, 20, so that's 160. See, 160, 160. What's important is the cameras trigger on this rising edge. So they trigger about here. So that's when they actually stop sending frames, and they won't send frames for the whole of the duration, and then they'll start sending frames again when it drops low. So this is the L515 external camera sync. There we are. That's a quick demo. Thank you very much. Enjoy.